One day, a man suddenly appeared in the middle of the road, shocking every driver nearby. On the other side, a girl named San Yao got a strange call telling her to run and stay away from danger. Moments later, that same man rescued her from a gang of thugs. But since more people were after him, he put up a barrier around Yao and fought them alone. The battle destroyed everything. They flew across buildings, crashing through walls like superhumans. Eventually, he defeated them and restored space and time to normal. Years later, Yao had grown up. During a group date, she confessed to her longtime crush, Wang Xiaoshu. But right after, Wang was attacked by jealous delinquents. They bullied him and even harassed Yao. Wang tried fighting back, but fell into a deep river. As he sank, his memories of being lonely in school came flooding back, except for Yao, who always stayed by him. Beneath the water, a glowing cube appeared. It entered his body, granting him teleportation powers within a 15-meter zone. In shock, Wang suddenly reappeared above the river. He then teleported randomly into a classroom. The cube warned him to escape, someone was coming. Later, Yao called, worried, but Wang told her he was fine. That night, the cube spoke again, saying it would help him become the ruler of the world. Wang wanted to train, but the cube warned his energy was too low. It could kill him if he overused his powers. Determined, Wang practiced controlling his teleportation range, but the effort drained him completely and he fainted, teleporting home automatically. When he woke, the cube emerged from his body, explaining it left to prevent energy loss. Realizing his new strength, Wang vowed to master it and protect those he cared for. To get stronger, he collected energy stones. A low-grade one raised his strength by 2 points and endurance by 1. The next day, at university, Yao greeted him happily. Soon after, Songjun and his gang showed up. Wang tried to avoid trouble, but Yao stepped forward to protect him. Seeing Yao in danger, Wang grabbed Songjun's arm and warned him to stop. Enraged, Song challenged him to a fight at the basketball court, threatening Yao if he refused. Later, Wang arrived. The cube warned there were 13 enemies, and his winning chance was only 20%. Still, Wang refused to back down. He stood tall, ready to face Songjun and his gang head-on, no matter the odds. Before the fight began, Songjun said he'd let Wang go if he promised to stay away from Yao. But Wang ignored him and mocked him instead, completely unfazed by the threat. One of Songjun's men stepped forward to fight Wang, thinking it'd be easy. But Wang dodged every hit and countered with one clean, powerful strike. When his man was taken down, Songjun snapped and ordered everyone to attack. Surrounded, Wang moved like lightning, blocking every hit and striking back fast. One by one, they fell until only silence remained. But using that much energy started to drain him. He took several hits, even a hard kick that sent him stumbling back. Still, he didn't stop. He fought until everyone was down. Seeing that, Songjun froze in fear, realizing he'd lost from the very start. He knew picking a fight with Wang was a huge mistake. Then a system alert popped up. His stamina was completely depleted. Yet, Wang still walked forward, staring him down without fear. Soon after, another gang arrived at the basketball court, not to help, but to mock Songjun and laugh at his defeat. When they dragged Yao into the conversation, Wang stepped in right away. That made them furious, and they chased after him. Wang used teleportation to escape and vanished instantly. He even shut down the power grid to strike from the shadows. Later, officers came to investigate the scene. To avoid getting blamed, Wang tricked Songjun into confessing, making himself look like the victim. After that, he started searching for gemstones to boost his strength. Jewelry stores were too expensive, so he went out to the wilderness with special mining gear. The system soon detected an empty underground zone. Hearing that, Wang teleported there immediately. But the place was far more dangerous than he expected. The ground was slippery, and a giant serpent was lurking nearby. He didn't notice it, but luck saved him from getting bitten. Still, the serpent didn't stop and kept stalking him. As Wang tried to climb, it lunged again, jaws wide open. But once again, his luck pulled him through. Then, the system detected 12 high-energy gems deep underground. Wang hurried toward them to start mining. But before he could dig, the serpent attacked again. The rope snapped and Wang fell into the underground river. Trapped underwater, he had to fight for his life. He tried teleporting into his dimensional space, but the serpent's coils held him tight. He stabbed it with his shovel and escaped into his inner dimension. There, he absorbed the gem's energy, boosting his power, then returned to face the serpent once more. This time, his strength was overwhelming. He crushed the massive serpent with ease. Meanwhile, Sunjun and Huan were planning revenge. They decided to lure young Master Lo to fight Wang for them. Elsewhere, Wang and Yao went on a quiet date. Holding her hand, Wang said he'd never let anyone hurt her again. He promised to protect her with all his strength. They spent the day at the park, later sitting by the lake, drinking and playing guessing games. Wang used his detection skill to guess every answer right, making Yao a bit suspicious. Another day, Wang waited for Yao, but she never showed up and couldn't be reached. Then news broke something happened at her apartment. Wang rushed there in panic. When he arrived, he learned Yao had gone missing. Amid the chaos, he spotted Sunjun watching from afar. Wang confronted him right away. "What did you do?" he demanded. Meanwhile, in an abandoned building, Lo was torturing Huan right in front of Yao. He almost did something terrible to her, but his servant stopped him, warning that Singen would be furious. Singen was known as someone terrifyingly strong. The servant reminded Lo that even after spending a fortune on fighters, his chance of defeating Singen was close to zero. Outside, Sunjun kept talking, revealing what had really happened. Sunjun told Wang just how terrifying the Lo family really was, powerful enough to make a man kneel all night long. But Wang didn't care about that nonsense. What caught his attention was the name Singuchen. He wanted to know who this man was and what kind of connection he had with Yao. Sunjun explained that Yao once went through something terrible. Surrounded by a gang of people, she was nearly doomed until Singuchen appeared and saved her. Rumor had it that many groups tried to find him afterward, but no one ever succeeded. When that mysterious man finally showed up again, he had already cut off Yan Lo's 2 middle fingers. Seeking revenge, Yan Lo issued a bounty order, but even his powerful family couldn't track Singuchen down. Hearing that story, Wang decided to face Lo himself, even though Sunjun warned him about the danger waiting ahead. Lo had used Yao as bait to lure Singuchen out, but the one who came wasn't Singuchen, it was Wang. As Wang climbed the stairs, a massive man named Pablo blocked his path. Pablo, the underground arena's ruler, was ordered to kill anyone who tried to pass. With his enormous frame, Pablo threw the first attack. Wang countered instantly with a powerful kick, and the two exchanged fierce blows. At first, Wang's strikes barely did any damage. Pablo was far stronger and far more experienced. But the moment Wang unleashed his weapon skill, everything changed. Pablo couldn't keep up anymore and was quickly defeated. After the fight, Wang continued climbing. Suddenly, a knife flew past him, an ambush from above. He was told he could reach the rooftop only by defeating a hired assassin in total darkness. Even with low visibility, Wang fought skillfully, moving with precision and patience. His controlled movements made the assassin hesitate and rely on stealth. But Wang's detection skill exposed his position. The moment the assassin came close, Wang struck first and ended it instantly. Meanwhile, a woman was observing Wang from the upper floor. Though she looked ordinary, she was actually Lo's most dangerous fighter. Around the same time, Wang faced another opponent, Buell, a C-rank powerhouse. Without hesitation, Wang swung his metal bat at him. But Buell caught it, grabbed Wang, and choked him hard. Struggling to breathe, Wang pulled out his knife and slashed him. Yet even that wasn't enough. Buell's raw strength was monstrous. Then suddenly, the cube system notified Wang that his high-tier gem fusion was complete. Power surged through his body, and the momentum shifted. Every strike from Wang now carried tremendous force. Buell couldn't defend himself. Wang's speed and strength had doubled. From a distance, Yao watched with relief, seeing Wang still holding strong. Meanwhile, Lo grew furious, calling his elite fighters useless trash. Now only one remained, a woman, a true professional capable of stopping Wang. By then, Wang was exhausted. His body ached, but he kept climbing, desperate to save Yao. Finally, he reached the upper floor and met Cui Jialin face to face. She tested him using a special device to see if he was a superhuman. It confirmed he was neither a cultivator nor a powered being. Cui smiled politely, then suddenly punched him right in the face. Wang responded with a punch of his own, and surprisingly, Cui smiled even wider. Instead of anger, excitement filled her eyes. She unleashed a rapid flurry of kicks, knocking Wang down hard. She didn't stop. She kept kicking, one after another. Wang countered, but Cui didn't dodge. She took every hit and enjoyed it. Realizing that, Wang kept attacking, hoping to knock her out. But the more he hit her, the stronger Cui became. Her shape-shifting ability awakened. Claws emerged as she slashed at him. Wang fought back with his nettle rod, but she was both faster and deadlier. If he didn't take her seriously, he'd die right there. Unable to react in time, Wang got bitten. Kui's body mutated further, the beast within taking control. Her partner quickly activated a sealing mark to suppress her rage. Wang seized the moment and ran to continue his search for Yao, but it seemed impossible to escape without defeating them first. Fearing Cui might lose control again, her partner made a desperate choice. He released her. But Wang didn't trust him. He stayed alert, ready to strike at any moment. Wang approached him, telling him to admit defeat, but the uncle, proud as a member of the Martial Alliance, couldn't accept losing. Instead, he handed over the Martial Alliance token and made a blood oath, the highest vow a cultivator could take. Wang secretly recorded the whole thing while it happened. The uncle felt mocked by Wang's attitude, yet he still honored his word, promising not to attack. Afterward, he tried contacting his comrades, but something had happened. Communication was impossible. Meanwhile, Luo received news that the assassins had been completely wiped out. His plan had to be abandoned, and his new priority became escaping the area. Wang had just reached the upper floor. There were supposed to be 2 enemies left, but one had vanished, leaving just a single opponent. This was Chu Musan, with a combat power level of 7, a skilled fighter and puppet user. Even at level 7, his attacks were so precise that Wang couldn't block them. As Chu Musan advanced, Wang threw a drink bottle to distract him. But with the flick of his magic, Chu Musan shattered it instantly. His combat skills were incredible, even surpassing Wang's. Still, Wang refused to back down and kept fighting. He used clever tricks, like spreading dust to block Chu Musan's vision. When the enemy's sight was obscured, Wang seized the moment to strike. But no matter how strong Wang's techniques were, Chu Musan defended and countered seamlessly. During their fierce exchange, Chu Musan added magic techniques to corner Wang. Soon, he summoned his puppet, forcing Wang into a tight spot. Wang dashed at the puppet, landing a solid punch that disabled it. Chu Musan couldn't evade. Wang had already grabbed his long hair at the start. Wang hit with all his strength, but Chu Musan didn't fall. Instead, he transformed into an even stronger form. When Chu Musan attacked, Wang couldn't read his moves at all. He was hit repeatedly in a relentless combo. Slowly, Wang began adapting to his opponent's speed. Even then, he still struggled to keep up with Chu Musan's rapid magical strikes. Chu Musan seemed to enjoy the fight, while Wang barely managed to dodge. Eventually, Wang grabbed the puppet again, but both were blasted backward, crashing hard. Kneeling, Wang faced Chu Musan's powerful explosion spell. He survived by shielding himself with a farming tool. Chu Musan sent his puppet to attack again, but Wang deflected it with the same tool. Wang held a gravity talisman, which increased his body weight, a trick he used to slam Chu Musan harder. The battle wasn't over. Chu Musan had secret techniques and multiple magic charms that made it even tougher. Wang tapped into a hidden strength within himself. Thinking of Yao, his power surged, and his punches burned with fiery energy. In the end, Chu Musan was finally defeated. But Wang couldn't save Yao yet. Luo had planted a bomb
bomb beneath her chair. Just then, Sinkugin arrived, rescuing Yao and taking her away. Seeing Yao carried off plunged Wang into deep despair. Even with microwave radiation and teleportation, his power level wasn't enough to locate her. Soon, a mysterious woman appeared, claiming she wanted to talk to him. She said she knew where Yanlo was. Wang immediately asked for her location, but first she asked him a question about cultivators, the superhuman beings who never appear in public. Wang replied that maybe they were just skilled at disguising themselves. She revealed there was actually an organization managing all of that. Wang didn't care much until she said they had secretly been protecting him. She warned that he should start paying attention since his life was at stake. Wang didn't believe her, especially after noticing 3 armed men aiming at him. He demanded she just tell him Lua's location. The woman then said if Wang completed 3 missions for them, she'd reveal everything, including Luo's whereabouts and any information about Sinkugin. The next day, Wang arrived at a large mansion in the hills. Along with other power users, he came for the bodyguard recruitment test for Piao. Once everyone gathered, they were guided into the identification room. Inside, each participant received 5 free chips and could play as much as they wanted, until they collected 10 chips in total. Before starting, Wang observed the area carefully. At the same time, someone tried to chat with him, inviting him to play together, but Wang ignored them, continuing to study how the other games worked.
But the man from earlier came back and openly challenged Wang to a fight. Accepting the challenge, Wang wagered all of his chips, forcing his opponent to do the same. The dealer then placed a coin under one of the cups and told the players to place their bets. Wang didn't bet on any of the cups. Instead, he bet on the dealer's right hand, the one actually controlling the game. On top of that, he managed to expose the dealer's cheating tricks. With that, Wang won the game, claiming all the chips for himself. Every participant who passed the first round was immediately brought to meet Mr. Piao. During the meeting, Piao congratulated them for qualifying as his personal bodyguards. Then, the administrator Shu explained that Piao had already transferred the payment to their accounts. Besides the agreed 3 million, they'd also receive a bonus. Wang was shocked. He'd only gotten 50,000, while the rest had been taken by their manager Nanamo Yukien. After that, Wang and the others headed to their next destination. On the way, their mission was explained, to retrieve an item during the upcoming banquet. Soon enough, everyone arrived at the grand event. The banquet opened with a game called The Brave and the Golden Bell. In this game, the guards had to fight a crocodile and grab the golden bell tied around its neck to win. The winner would receive a massive gold bar. Soon, one participant entered the cage and was instantly devoured before completing the task. Even after that fatal incident, another participant stepped forward, determined to face the crocodile. He chose several spears as his weapons. Full of confidence, he entered the cage ready to win. Wang couldn't understand why anyone would risk their life like that, but apparently someone had to fight, otherwise the system would randomly select the participant. Inside the cage, the fighter stabbed the crocodile several times, but it didn't even flinch. Instead, the beast grew more aggressive and ferocious. Since no one could defeat it, the prize pool kept increasing. Tempted by the growing reward, a few contestants wanted to enter the cage together. But since only one person could go in at a time, they had to duel for the chance. One fighter won the duel and stepped into the cage. When he faced the crocodile, it suddenly froze. Then, its head was sliced clean off in an instant. With that, the first golden bell was claimed, and the game moved to the next round. This time, the organizers brought out a new monster, a hybrid of a cat and a bear. The creature was the product of a well-known biotech company. Its only strength was sheer brutality. It instinctively destroyed anything living in sight. After showing the beast to the guests, the host asked if anyone dared to challenge it. The prize this time was double the previous amount in pure gold. Soon, a brave contestant stepped forward, but when he attacked, the creature ignored him and charged straight through its glass cage. At first, it struggled to break free, but after grabbing the prey's sword, it slashed through the glass and escaped. Wang realized someone had deliberately caused the chaos. Earlier, that person had sprinkled something inside the cage, provoking the monster to go berserk. Before the beast could harm the guests, a man named Murong stepped up to face it. Meanwhile, organizers ordered the remaining guests to evacuate while security regained control. Within moments, the chaos inside the hall was contained. But suddenly, the lights went out, and the thief broke into the treasure room. The intruder was one of Piao's own bodyguards, a skilled woman who fought with a sword. Guards kept coming, but she fended them off alone. When an enemy attacked from behind, Wang rushed in, saving her and defeating the attacker instantly. The woman then turned to him and asked, "Are you my ally or my enemy?" Wang replied calmly that he was her personal bodyguard. The reason he knew her secret mission was simple. He had already figured out she was infiltrating the event for a hidden purpose. The woman didn't deny it. Wang agreed to accompany her into the treasure room, but once inside, they found nothing. The item they were looking for seemed to have been moved. Using his detection ability, Wang planned to locate the treasure. However, before he could act, several guards suddenly opened fire. On top of that, Wang and the girl were ambushed by 3 B-rank fighters. Not wanting to fight head-on, Wang threw a fake grenade to deceive them and quickly escaped. After regrouping and planning, Wang fought them again, defeating them before continuing the search for the treasure. Wang and Mumuksha, the girl he was protecting, descended to floor B2. There, they were immediately confronted by guards armed with assault rifles. But being surrounded didn't stop them. Wang and Muksha pressed forward toward their destination. Soon, they arrived at the research facility, where numerous biological weapons and strange creatures from biogenetic experiments were kept. Upon entering the lab, Wang met the professor conducting the research. Muksha immediately asked about the genetic therapy drug they had agreed upon. The professor said the drug could only be exchanged for the treasure from the vault. He also explained his latest breakthrough, a method to enhance superhuman strength in the human body. But the research had to be halted because DU wanted to use it for military biological weapons. The professor also mentioned human experiments, calling them the pinnacle of biotechnology. Hearing that, Muksha was furious, not just because the professor didn't have the medicine for her grandfather, but also because she couldn't accept the inhumane experiments. Enraged, she immediately attacked the professor and his assistant. Moments later, Wang was transported to another dimension. With the obsidian stone absorption complete, his system recalibrated. Teleportation could now be used twice per minute with a maximum range of 30 meters. Meanwhile, guards were fighting a giant bat monster, along with another creature far stronger than the previous one. Soon after, Mumuksha was confronted by guards again. She fought a whip user and a muscular blind man. Although strong, battling 2 mutant humans at once overwhelmed her. Luckily, Wang arrived just in time. Muksha almost scolded him for being nearly killed. Soon after, Wang noticed a large horde of monsters approaching. He used the chaos to escape, leaving their enemies to deal with the creatures. Wang and Mumuksha teleported to a sewage channel, planning to escape through the underground passage. But just as they were about to move, a mysterious enemy appeared, one whose presence was almost impossible to detect.